Well, this is all of a sudden interesting to me. People dependent on glasses or contacts have been choosing LASIK eye surgery to fix their vision for over 20 years. Health specialist Leah Sarich is here now with how a simple advance in the procedure is helping patients see better longer. Just a bit of a disclaimer here. Some of the footage we're about to show you may not be for everybody. If you're squeamish, perhaps look away.
You may need to look away just a little. We got some eye surgery coming up. Yes, so we're talking about LASIK eye surgery. And of course, it has been around for, 2 decades now.
Wow.
And this is a really exciting advancement when it comes to the basic LASIK eye surgery. So currently, LASIK eye surgery is a relatively simple procedure. These days, it takes about 10 minutes an eye. And it's a surgical procedure that uses a laser to reshape the cornea to correct nearsightedness, farsightedness, and astigmatism. That's Chris in the chair there. God bless him for letting us shoot this surgery. We'll talk to him in just a bit. Yeah, that's his eye. That's Chris. Thank you, Chris. Chris, for example, has been wearing glasses since grade 2. And so he's very excited to get this surgery done. Our surgeon today, Dr. Howard Gimble, has been practicing for 50 years in Calgary. So what they're doing is they're flattening the cornea so they can cut a little flap in it. The flap is then pulled back. Then they can go into the cornea there and reshape it with a laser. And then they put the flap back down. But with LASIK Extra, they do just a little extra before they put that flap down.
The surface before we put the flap back down, after we've done the treatment, then we let riboflavin soak into the cornea, rinse it off, put the flap back down, and then swing out to do some ultraviolet radiation for a prescribed number of seconds as well. And that ultraviolet will activate the riboflavin and cause that cross-linking or greater stability of the tissue.
So this is kind of a nice add-on, basically, to your basic LASIK procedure. So with any LASIK procedure, just by the nature of what you're doing, you are weakening the cornea just a little bit. So this little extra bit, what they call cross-linking, is going to make that cornea a bit more stable. So it's the riboflavin and then the UV radiation together. And like Dr. Gimble said, it's called cross-linking. So basically what this does is it locks in your prescription, reducing the chance of touch-ups down the road. It also reduces the risk of certain complications as well, which is nice. And it gives doctors a little more confidence, for example, when they're doing corneas with that higher correction, which can be a little bit unstable at times.
You know, I have some vision issues that are fairly new, and they're so frustrating. So I can imagine somebody who's been wearing glasses.
Right, like Chris his whole life has been wearing glasses his whole life.
I mean, what a revelation.
Absolutely.
So that footage, not so easy to watch. What does the patient feel when they're actually going through
this?
They
actually don't feel much at all, which is really quite amazing. It's really amazing, yeah. They don't really feel much at all. And when it comes to the LASIK Extra procedure, they're not really feeling anything.
Right.
So basically it adds on about 3 minutes or so to each eye for the average LASIK procedure. I actually asked Chris right after he had the surgery done. He literally came out of the surgical suite and I sat him down and I said, okay, what did you feel and why did you choose to have this extra part done?
They had explained, like, for some people down the road, it might not, your eyes might go bad again, kind of thing. And this was just a precautionary thing. And technically, they told me I didn't really need to get it, but I figured, well, I didn't want to take a chance, you know, to have to come back in here again and down the road. But yeah, it was painless and just felt great, actually. Calm and relaxing. Better than the dentist, that's for sure.
Yeah,
better than the dentist. There you go.
I get it.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Okay, so we know LASIK is not free. Is the extra?
It is. It is a little bit extra. So it costs on average about $400 more an eye. And the average LASIK procedure costing anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for both, depending on what you need done. So it does add on a little bit, but it could prevent certain things down the road. So it's certainly something to consider. Not necessarily absolutely necessary, but certainly something to consider.
Yes, I can absolutely see why people want to do this.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. It's another option to learn about.
More information on your blog.
On my blog, you bet, a little later today.
Health specialist Leah Sarich, breakfasttelevision.ca, the way to find her.